Happy Facebook Live time. Melissa Kerman here with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. Welcome, whether you're joining in for the live or for the replay. I am here on Facebook every week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Stampin' Up! Announcements and announcements about Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, my business, and with a project demonstration or two or three, depending on the week and what I'm doing. So that's why I'm here. And if you've just joined in, please comment and let me know you're there. Today I have just a little bit in the way of announcements and two projects for you. They're sort of time-consuming projects, so hopefully won't be taking too long, but I'm going to try to get to them as quickly as possible. So, hi Pam, hi, thanks for joining in, and others that are joining in as well. So I feel compelled to talk just for a minute about transitions and change. For some reason, it's on my mind, and it's only the beginning of August, but it already feels like change is in the air. My daughter's heading off to college next week. It's her sophomore year, and so you know, that comes with mixed feelings. She's been home all summer and she's amazing, and it's been so great to have her home. But she's not going far, so that's the good news. Last year she was 4 hours away, and now she's only going to be, well, she's going to be less than an hour away, so that's super awesome. So I don't know about you guys, but when transition or change is coming, whether it's just in the air or whether it's things going on like kids going off to college or whatever, I get a little anxious leading up to it, and life experience has told me, and I have to always remind myself, part of why maybe I'm talking about it here now, is that it's usually easier when you get to the other side than you realized, you know, that the change was really not that hard. So I just, you know, if you guys have any thoughts on change and transition, whether it's something big happening right now for you, or you just feel the weather, I feel the difference in the light, and I'm kind of excited and anticipating the fall because it's probably one of my favorite seasons. But anyway, comment and let me know if you have any thoughts about transition and change, how you handle it, things that are going on for you, if you feel so inclined. I know it's kind of personal. Anyway, welcome to those of you who have joined in. I see Lori is here and Lynn is here. I think I saw other names, but I can't remember what they were because I was busy talking. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to say about the whole thing about change and transition. Just on my mind. Well, actually, one other thing. So I realized as I was thinking about this that it was a year ago, almost to the day, it was actually August 3rd that I launched my new website. And that was a huge, huge endeavor and change. And it's really kind of cool to take stock of the fact that it's been a whole year, and I have a full year of blog posts on my site, and I survived that whole experience. And here I am. So just fun to look back and reflect and take stock of it. So and hopefully you guys enjoy my site. There's always room for improvement, of course, but I hope you like it as it is as well. So thank you, Lori. So the one big announcement I have today is just about my Taste of a Sweet product shares. I officially have the menu ready. It's two-sided. It's if you're not familiar with my shares, I basically take each product suite that's in the upcoming catalog. So in this case, the holiday catalog, there are 8 suites, and I pick the consumables that I can easily divide up, and I put them into a nice little package and make a product share. Hi, Barbara, welcome. So good to see you here. I think it's been a while since I've seen your name across the screen. So anyway, it's really an awesome way to get a little taste of a lot of different products without spending a lot of money. So they range in price from $8.50 to $19, and it all depends on how many products are in the given share, and then how much of each thing is in there. All the prices are prorated, so you're not paying any more than you would otherwise, but you're just getting, you know, a little less of each thing. So anyway, hi Sally, welcome. So I will have a link. I'll put a link in the description for this Facebook Live, in the description after it's over. So you'll be able to go check out my product shares if you want to. So that's you're basically reserving them. Goes through. You can reserve them through, what's the date? September 5th. It's the day after the catalog goes live. So all the details are on my website, but just let me know if you have questions. I love my product shares. I'm a little biased, but I like having a taste of everything. So much fun. Okay, so the projects today are focused on, they're the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle projects. And I'm only doing 2 this time. Usually I do 3, but these ones are a little bit more involved. So I thought, you know, I might keep you all night if I did a 3rd project. So anyway, it's the suite is the Come Sail Away suite. And other stamp sets and products that sort of are in that same genre. So I'm actually not even using the Come Sail Away suite. I'm the set itself. I am using some of the designer paper and the trinkets, but I'm using the Sea of Texture set and the High Tide set. Some of you are probably familiar with those. So I'm going to start with my project, the one that I designed for the tutorial bundle. It is a fun fold card. The second card is kind of messy, so I'm going to wait for my inky fingers for the second one. So I'm just going to turn the camera down and show you guys the project. So here we go. You get to see my messy space first. Okay. Okay, so you see the Sea of Texture set there, and it coordinates with the Under the Sea framelits, which I have used for one of the little pieces of this card. Thank you for the congratulations, Catherine. I appreciate it. Okay, so yes, you can see these framelits. We're only going to be using, I think, this one die for this particular project, but I've used maybe 6 out of the 9 images in this for my card. Okay, so set that aside for now. So this is what we're going to start with, and this is some pretty simple stamping, and I'm going to start with my seaweed, I guess you would call this, with my Mossy Meadow ink, and I always for some reason have a hard time getting this seaweed going straight up and down. So yeah, that's pretty good. And I like to do it several times with first and second inking to kind of make it look natural. And a few on the bottom. I think that's all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take this image right here. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to be. Somebody chime in, let me know. What is it supposed to be? Netting, or I don't know. And I'm using my Balmy Blue ink pad with this image, and I'm going to stamp off, and it's going to be sort of the sea floor to kind of fill in the sea floor. So I stamped it off, and I'm just going to do it along the bottom there. Just get a little bit of texture in there. And okay, closing that up. That's all I'm doing. Actually, no, I am doing one other thing in that. Okay. Open it up again. So now I'm going to be using this little image right here, the little grass, seagrass, and stamp that a few times. And I am going to do that in, let's see, first ink, a couple different spots. And now I'm actually going to wash this, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the new stamp cleaning pad. Has anybody gotten this yet? It's just a really nice sort of small travel way of having something to clean your stamps sort of on the go, or in a Facebook Live like this where I want to be able to show you what I'm doing, but I don't want to have to go off camera. So it's super easy to do that, and you can see it's now nice and clean. And there's a refill for this because it's sort of a fluid in there that you can get to refill that ink pad so it stays useful. Okay, so next I'm going to use this next image, this next seagrass type image. And I'm going to do a few of these, also first and second inking. And of course I cleaned that other one on purpose, and I have to go back to it now because I'm now going to use that image I just cleaned one more time in the Night of Navy. So those other images were done in Night of Navy. All right, got just a little bit more stamping, and then I'll do the assembly and show you my fun fold. So the next one I'm going to do is this netting, and I'm using soft suede, and I'm going to stamp this image off as well. If I use it full ink, it sort of ends up being a little too dark for my taste, so I'm going to do a few of them though. And there we go. All right. So now I'm going to show you the other pieces of the card. And there's a few other little embellishments that are going to go on this before I'm done. But let's start with the card base. So the card base is actually this piece right here. And it's just a 4 1/4, I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a little bit different from what you might expect because it's a fun fold. So I have adhesive on the backs of all these just to help go faster. So this piece right here, I don't remember what the dimensions are. Let's see, it's probably about half, so maybe it's 2 3/4. I'm guessing. And I'm going to actually just attach it so that it's flush on the left side of this quarter sheet. I think this, I read somewhere that this is called, what is this called? A Dutch door card. I'm not sure why, but it's because it has like a little door. Why it would be Dutch, I'm not sure. Somebody know, comment, and let me know. Oh my goodness, you just signed up as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Congratulations, Catherine. How awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Designer Series paper. This is the Come Sail Away paper. And I am going to put it right here on the inside of my card. Now you can see there's a where the cardstock, the folded cardstock is. I want to cover that sort of transition point. Haha, I tied in my transition idea to the class today. So we're covering up the transition. Pretending it's not happening, right? Sometimes we do that, just as a coping strategy. Okay. Anybody else do that? Dutch door is a half door. Okay, there you go. Makes sense. Okay. So this again is some of the designer paper Come Sail Away. This I hate covering up this back pattern, but it just didn't go with my design. So going with the mossy meadow, green, ocean floor feeling. I'm going with that idea anyway. Okay, so now we've got our basic, there's our fun fold. And then I have an inside piece so that you have a place to write. So I've stamped on this with my seaweed, and I'm just going to place that in here. So there's a little bit of an edge all around the piece that I can write on, and then also on the designer paper. So you see the designer paper on the outside. So now we've got our basic construction of the card. And then, now I stamped my one piece here, but I did another version. So I'm actually going to use the one that is a little bit different, and you guys can tell me which one you like better. This one actually has adhesive on it, and on this one, there's my second one. Now I did that bluish, what is it, this image, the image that I don't know what it is, all over, and I did it first and second and third inking, and then I also sponged the edges in the navy. So that's just a little bit different from that first one. And I do have a finished card made with the stamped style that I did, that I showed you. So I'll get to show you that one. You can tell me which one you like better once it's assembled. All right, so I have dimensionals on the back side of this piece, and you probably all know why I have them on just half. Oh my, I put them on the wrong side. Oh my gosh, I hate when I do this on camera. It looked like it would be right there, but I put, and it should have been, except for I wasn't paying attention to how I assembled it. So, oh, look at this. It's letting me take it off because it should have been facing the other way. There we go. So now my dimensionals have to be on the left. Wasn't paying attention. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to place that on, and if I did it right, which I did now this time, I'm not seeing any of my dimensionals over here because I just want it to be attached to that flap. And then I'm going to just go ahead and attach that again. The times that we're grateful that the adhesive doesn't stick quickly, right? Love that. Okay, so now a few additional little touches. Okay, so I've got some burlap here. And this you can play with. I don't know if you guys have played with it in a creative way, but what I did was I cut it in half the long way, and then I'm going to take one of the strands or filaments, I'm just going to pull that away and use it just for the filament. So it's a pretty kind of cool option. Now, I toyed around with, this is the other style of trinket that you can use. Let's see, I didn't show you the first one, did I? So there's two styles of trinkets in the Come Sail Away trinkets. They're the cutest little things ever. I just think they're adorable. And now, I don't probably need the string if I'm going to use that one. Maybe that's what I'll do. I won't use the string, but I'm going to show you my other style card where I did use the string. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and attach that with glue dots. And I have also die cut one of these little starfish. So I'm only going to use the inside piece, but when you cut it out, you get that piece as well. So I'm going to use a glue dot for that. Got to sneak over off to the side and get my glue dots. Now this one I'm going to have to roll up because you can see the glue dot is much bigger than this, whatever it's called, my starfish. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to help me with that because it's got the nice piercing tool on the one end, and I'm just going to roll it up so I can get it on the back of that starfish. And it's going to go in the lower left-hand corner. And then I'm going to put some glue dots on the back side of my steering wheel, or whatever it's called. For whatever reason, I can't seem to remember what this is called. And I think I have asked that question here, too. Somebody's going to tell me, because I know you're my helpers. Help me with my words. Okay, so I got some glue dots on the back there. I don't think they're going to show through, so I just got them on there. And I'm going to just put my, somebody's saying, helm. Okay, helm. Okay. Now, I kind of think I'm going to like the other one better, the other option better, but you know, you got to mix it up, right? Do something different just because it's fun. Okay, so now I've shown you guys this before. I have these little buckets of tiny little strips of cardstock of all different widths, and this is an example, this card, of where this came in handy. So I took one of my little strips, stamped it with the "You're One of a Kind," which is true for all of you. And me too. Yay, you're one of a kind. And then I sponged it on the edges and put some mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back side. And I'm going to just stick that up in the upper right-hand corner. So there is my finished card. Now I'm just wondering if that's like floating in the ocean. It's falling down in the water from the ship. Maybe it should have been down at the bottom. I don't know, comment and let me know what you think. I'm not a sailor. Anyway, so I'm going to show you the second version, or it really was the original version. So there's this one, which of course has the helm and the anchor. And I kind of love that string kind of hanging off the edge. So this one, of course, has more stamping on it. And this one is kind of the simpler one. I was envisioning water, that blue was kind of the water. So I always have to do different versions. Yeah, you'd put it at the bottom, you're right. And I will probably rip the paper if I pull it off on camera, so I think I'll do that off camera. I'll take pictures and have it on the website. But yes, it should be on the bottom. It should be like in the sand on the bottom. Thank you for sharing your opinion, Barbara. I think it's a good one. All right, so now I'm going to set myself up for my second project. Give me 1 second to put all this stuff away. And I've got all my other materials right here off to the side. Okay. So, off we go. Okay, next big bucket of things. So for this one, we're using the High Tide stamp set. For my sentiment, I'm using the Here's to Celebrating You. I realized a couple days ago that I did not have enough birthday cards. I need to be making birthday cards. And I also am using the Stitch Nested Labels dies, one of the small ones. I think it was this one that I used. And I'm going to be doing a technique called masking. I'm sure lots of you know how to do masking, and I'm using a lot of different inks. So I'm going to pull them all out, get myself organized here. Grab my, okay, so starting with a blank piece of paper. The layout of this is super simple. And what I'm going to start with is, now I would start with either Post-it note paper or this paper, which is called, it's called Art Masking Tape. I think that's what it's called, yeah. Art Masking Tape by Eclipse. I've had this roll for a long time. It comes in handy, very handy, when you're doing masking and you want the paper to stick, and there's all kinds of creative things you can do with it. You can see it comes in a nice big roll. So I basically took my piece of cardstock and I put it on the back, because otherwise it's so thin that the it might not get a nice clean cut if I don't put cardstock on the back. So I just punch it out, and then I just have to peel this away from the paper. So super easy, and you can do any size. This is going to be a moon. This is my moon. So some of you guys may know where I'm going with this, but we'll start and show you. So I'm going to place my moon where I want it to be, and then I'm going to start doing a bunch of sponging. Starting with my Mossy Meadow. I'm using 3 greens, Mossy Meadow, Pear Pizzazz, and Soft Seafoam, and this is where it gets messy. So lots of sponging. I'm going to try to do this on the fast side. So who else out there? Hi, Laura. Welcome. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you here. Who else loves sponging? Anybody love sponging? You can see I'm pressing really hard against the edge of the paper so that I get a really nice dark edge. And then I don't press as hard as I go into the center of the paper, and that allows it to be lighter towards the center. Darker at the edge, lighter in the center. And now I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz, which is just a shade lighter. Find my Pear Pizzazz sponge here. See, I have them labeled and everything. So I use them again and again until they sort of get worn, and then I start with a new one. Okay, so now this one, I'm just doing kind of a light touch because I don't want to put too much green on here because I got to leave room for all my other lovely colors. So now I'm doing Soft Seafoam, which is a super light color. So I'm essentially trying to create a bit of a horizon. So the grass and horizon. Oh, and I just remembered. I have to do a very crucial thing before I do another step. And I normally would have done this first, but I got distracted. Okay, so I'm going to go back just one step. I'm going to use my Night of Navy. Hi, Susan. Welcome. I'm going to be stamping my lighthouse. So I'm using Night of Navy in first and second inking. So this first image is going to be in full ink. Now this is dark enough so it's going to cover up that green. Normally, like I said, I would have stamped it first. But there's always lots of routes to the same end, right? Okay, so now I'm using my second image, which lays right over the top of the first one. And hi, Carol. Hi, Wendy. And I'm going to stamp that one off so it's a little bit lighter. If I stamped full ink over the top of this, you wouldn't really be able to see that detail of the lighthouse. But now, this is the hard part because I can't go straight over the top because the camera is taking up that spot. So hopefully I can get it straight on. There we go. We love our clear blocks and our clear images, right? Because you can, ooh, that was even better than the first one I did. Yay, I love when that happens, especially when it happens on camera. Okay, yay, me. Somebody give me hearts. I deserve hearts for that. No, anyway, so there is my lighthouse, okay? Now, here's the crucial thing that I have to do, and that is, first I have to find the thing, is I made myself a mask. So this is that same art masking tape. Thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. So I made a mask, so it's tacky on the back side so that I can place it right over the top of my lighthouse. And what this allows you to do is make the lighthouse look like it's in the foreground of whatever you're going to either stamp or, in my case, sponge in the background. So there's my mask. My moon is also a mask. And now I can resume my sponging with my, soft seafoam. So this is my lightest green. And again, not going too hard on there because I don't want it to be too dark. And now if I were doing this without the mask, I would be getting a green on my lighthouse instead of it staying blue. So now you know. And when I take off the mask, that's the most fun because you get to, see the little magic that you created by having the mask on there. Okay, so now I'm going to do a range of blues. This is Seaside Spray, one of the new in colors. And this is a pretty pale, almost a little bit tiny purplish blue. It won't really look purplish, but that's how I see it anyway. So again, sort of soft color, trying to create the horizon. And that means I'm not pressing too hard. Now, the more I rub, the more sort of higher resolution you get, so you sort of fill in more of the dots of the paper, fill in more color. So it's just finding that right balance between the resolution, so to speak, and keeping it a light color. Okay, so next I'm going to do my Balmy Blue. This is my second of my 4 blues. I've got a naked sponge here, so it doesn't have a label yet. I have to relabel this one. So there we go with my next darkest color. So you can see how it's a lot darker. So I'm, again, not pressing real hard because I don't want it to be too dark a sky at this point in the sky. Did anybody comment and say whether they liked sponging or not? I love sponging. Okay, so I've got, actually, so with your mask, if I rub too much against it and it it's lifted up, especially if I've used a Post-it note instead of my art masking tape, I might pull up the mask. So in that case, if you are doing that, it's best to go right over the image, going that way instead of pressing towards the mask. Mine's pretty secure though. Okay, so that's my Balmy Blue. And now I'm going to come in with my blueberry bushel. This is another one of the in colors. This is one of the 2018-2020 in colors. And I got my sponge. Now, this is a pretty dark color, so I got to be pretty sort of careful with how hard I press. You can see it's giving me a lot of color. So at the end, I'll do a little bit of blending, going back with some of the lighter colors. And you can see I'm doing like a circular motion as well to kind of help, again, that resolution, make sure I'm getting good coverage with my color. Oh, it's looking really pretty. Don't you guys think? I think it's looking really pretty. Making me happy. It's the small things in life, right? Okay, so now I got my Night of Navy sponge. So I stamped my lighthouse in Night of Navy, so I want to bring in some of that color to help it all sort of come together and connect. And this is going to be my dark sky at the top. And just like how I did at the bottom, I'm rubbing hard against the edge so I get some nice dark, rich Night of Navy along the edge. Hope the camera's not moving. It's actually on a different table to prevent that, but when you're sponging, the table moves a lot. So hopefully there's not a lot of shake. And then I like to go around the moon because that accentuates the line of the moon. Ooh, what do we think? Isn't that pretty? Okay, I think it's pretty. Okay, so I'm going to take my lightest color. Just have to know which one it is. This is this Seaside Spray, and I'm going to do a little bit more kind of blending over the darker colors. Okay, I think that's probably all I'm going to do. Put some of these aside. Now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. Get some of this out of the way. Now what I need next is my Pear Pizzazz. This is my sort of mid-level green. And I'm going to use one of the images in the set. Show you it. So this image right here. And it's actually intended to sort of wrap around the lighthouse. So now this original card design was actually a guest design team member who joined in just for the month of August, Simple Sweet Stampers Tutorial Bundle Design Team. And she did not do this stamping, but it was just a little element that I decided to add in. Now it does look really pretty just the way it is, but I kind of felt like I wanted a little bit more sort of solid ground. So I'm just going to stamp that image right around the base, again designed to be right around there. And then I'm going to do a little bit off to the left to kind of fill it in a little. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my soft sea foam, soften that edge a little bit. And then one more, let's see, two more details. Okay, so where's my, there we go, Mossy Meadow. So now I'm going to come in with my darkest green, the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to stamp a little bit of grass. So this little grass image towards the bottom. And I'll probably do some first and second inking of that one. So I use the second ink there. Again, to look like it's a little bit of stuff in the foreground, stuff in the background. I think I'm going to stop right there. Okay, you guys ready for the unmasking? Because that's kind of the fun part. Or some of the fun part. So here we go. Take off my moon. If you were here with me, I would ask you for a drum roll. So maybe you guys at home can do like a little drum roll. Here we go, it's a drum roll. You realize that light is reflecting, that's no fun. Okay, here we go. Taking off my moon. And then I'm going to take off my lighthouse mask. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? I think it's so pretty. So I've just got a little bit in the way of finishing touches. Now I've stamped the sentiment, this birthday sentiment from the Perennial Birthday stamp set onto a piece of white cardstock die cut, and then I just trimmed off the edge right there just so that it would only be that much sticking into the card, and then sponged the edge with the Night of Navy as well. Yay, hearts, thank you. I love the hearts. Okay, Wendy, what's that little symbol that's in the picture? Because I don't recognize it. It looks like a wood stump. Anyway, let me know. Okay, so I have already taken the backings off of those. I've put dimensionals on the back side. And I'm just going to stick that. Oh, look at that. See, I got green fingers, so now I have to sponge this a little bit more because I got a little green on the corner. The danger of inky fingers. You can barely tell. So now I'm just going to stick that in there. just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my Night of Navy cardstock. And where is my adhesive? Here it is. Okay. Oh, that one's not wanting to work. Okay, let me get something else. Got the adhesive dispenser that's getting stuck. Okay, so we're almost there. All right, on to my Night of Navy. And then I've got one little final touch after I put this onto the card, which I know you're gonna like. Card base in the Balmy Blue. I got my dimensionals on the back side already. Make sure the card's opening in the right direction. Always a good idea. And there we go. So now the last detail on this card is to use a little bit of the Wink of Stella. It's a clear Wink of Stella, so it's going to give my moon a bit of shine. So here we go. And I actually, when I did the first one, I pulled in a little bit of the blue on the edge because I wanted to actually see some of the, have some variation in the moon itself. I'll show you on my original in just a second. It sort of naturally wants to pull in from the edge, right? Because there's ink on the edge. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show it to you close up. So there is my card. And I don't know if I said her name, but Lee Kaiser is the person who designed this. She's the design team member guest. Now, I can't really see that see the Wink of Stella in the picture, but maybe in the camera, maybe you guys can see it. It's not reflecting too well to me, but hopefully you get to see it. So now this was my first one on the right here. Similar, the sky's always going to turn out a little bit different when you make a card like this because the sponging's going to vary. And I used vellum on this one, and I actually heat embossed using my blue ink with Versamark. That's one of my little tricks I've showed here before. And then I put glue all in behind this piece of vellum. And you see some of that texture. Maybe you're just seeing the sponging in behind, but it's, I don't know, it's a little bit too kind of model-y to me. I sort of like the crisp white better. But, you know, they're both good, right? Second one better. Second one? Yes. I think I like it too. I think I like it better too. So it might have looked better if I didn't have that. Maybe if I'd figured out a way to raise it up so that it didn't get all, you know, gluey in behind. Yes. Okay, I see a second on the white sentiment label. I agree. All right, so that is it for my projects. I'm going to take my little steering wheel and put that down at the bottom, and this I'll have a blog post tomorrow that will go live with photos of these projects and a complete supply list in case you need a reminder. And I'm going to quickly turn the camera, say a quick goodbye, and a few little reminders. Yes. Okay, so it seems to be unanimous on the version that people like better. Hello, I'm back. So of course my Taste of Sweet product shares happening now. You can order them now through September 6th. And if you go to my website and look there, I haven't even gotten most of those products. So what I did was I included pictures of all the consumables that go into the shares. So you won't actually see a picture of the share itself. If you want to see examples of what the shares look like, you can look at past shares on my overview page on my site also. So there's that. And then, okay, you guys know, normally I'm here every Thursday. I have, because of change and transition, I'm taking next Thursday off. My daughter her move-in day is next Thursday, and it's in the afternoon. So I've decided that I'm just going to take a break next week and focus on my daughter And that was cute, a little face with a tear. But I will be back on the 22nd, and I have to tell you, it was kind of a hard decision to say that I wasn't going to do one next week, because I've kind of moved into this crazy creative zone. Like, I've started working on fall stuff and Christmas stuff and using a lot of the products that I got when I was on the Greek Isles trip. I made something last night with the ornament punches, the brand new ornament punches, and what else have I done? Did something with the wonderful, what is it called? Wonderful Year bundle. Anyway, so I'm just like exploding with ideas. So I'm gonna have to take a break next week, and it makes it harder to share. It's easy to share her on Facebook. So anyway, I'll be back. I'll be sharing all those ideas. I just space them out, and it'll be delayed by week. But definitely check my blog. If you're a newsletter subscriber, I'll be including blog posts, links to my blog posts on that, so you can check that out. And one other thing I forgot to mention earlier. So this is a new thing that Stampin' Up's doing in the catalog. So you guys know there's suites, right? The suites that have consumables and non-consumables in them, stamp sets, dies, and then the papers and all that other stuff. But normally, we could buy a bundle that is a stamp set and a die, or stamp set and punch, whatever. But now, Stampin' Up's with one code going to allow people, you can now in the holiday catalog, buy the whole suite of products. That includes, might include an embossing folder and designer paper and embellishments. And you're getting the whole pack of everything. So you gotta love a suite to get it. And I think they range in price from, I want to say, like in the 70s. I think one is like 100 and something. But you're getting a ton of stuff in it, and then you just use one code and you get everything for a given suite. So it's like a mega bundle. So super fun, nice, new option that will be in the holiday catalog that I think you'll enjoy. So anyway, hope you loved the projects today, and we'll come back in 2 weeks on August 22nd for my next Facebook Live. And I hope you guys have a great 2 weeks, and happy crafting. Bye.